Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the WAN show. We've got a fantastic show planned out for you today. At least I think we do. I wouldn't know. I had nothing to do with the planning.
Hooray.
Hooray. But in all seriousness, we've got a couple of guests, one of whom is another creator that we have actually never collaborated with before, so that's pretty exciting. And the second is someone whose final day here at Linus Media Group is today. We are doing, oh yeah, I guess you probably didn't know about that. We are doing a
I didn't know they were coming on.
Yeah, we are doing a farewell stream for one of our staffers who's been here over a year now, actually. Wow, it's amazing how time flies.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of great topics lined up for you, including Intel's 10 nanometer delay. Intel is this like the first time in how many decades that Intel hasn't been at the bleeding edge of process node technology?
It's going to be really interesting because they might be in trouble.
Apple to move touch digitizer and wait, what does that even mean? Called cover. Oh, Apple's ditching 3D touch. Wah, wah, wah. Jim Keller joins Intel. This is big news. If you don't know who Jim Keller is, basically he's like CPU design, like Jesus. I went with Jesus to make it like not sort of offensive. Did it help at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
What else we got?
Windows 10 Redstone 5 gets telephony APIs hinting at a Surface phone, which I thought they learned their lesson already on that one, but maybe second time, give it another shot.
Give it another shot. All right. So speaking of giving it another shot, let's give another shot at rolling this intro. Oh, does it matter that I moved this window? Is that a problem?
I have no idea.
Like, are we using like screen cap to capture that?
I think from a different thing though.
Okay.
So I think it's okay.
So hopefully all of that is fine. I'm getting a bunch of messages. Hopefully that's not a problem. We forgot to do a tweet that the WAN show is live. This video brought to you by LTX and Spectrum Classifies and private internet.
PIA.
All right. So I gotta do a thing real quick here, like that thing, and also this thing. The WAN show is live. Twitter like totally finds this stuff, so does YouTube, so does Facebook, and they just super bury it.
Yeah.
Every week we'll tweet the same thing, right? Hey, our show is live, and those platforms will specifically go out of their way to be super duper sure that no one would want to know that. And what is going on right now? What? How do I not have what?
Wait, are you calling yourself?
How am I calling someone? It's not, and Hangouts crashed. So Hangouts is crashed, it's calling someone, and somehow, have you seen me take my phone out of my pocket? This phone, not the iPhone from my back pocket.
No.
Somehow it was awake.
So far, I think this is the like smoothest start to a WAN show
Ghost phone.
In quite a while.
Ghost phone. There's nothing I can do about these kinds of things. It is not my fault at a certain point. It can't be.
Oh my goodness. It's also incredibly hot in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's getting hot in
I think you
here.
can see it, like my face is glistening. I don't think that's like a lighting problem.
No,
I think that's
me too.
I'm sweating.
It's only April and it's already getting to be like summer weather here. All right.
Yeah.
So why don't we jump into our first topic here, and why don't we just invite our guest? So let me see if I can figure out how to do it. And
click on the thing.
Click on the thing.
Other thing.
And bippity boppity.
Wrong thing. Hey, look, it's us. There you go. Hooray.
Hi, so welcome to the show, Jason.
How are you doing?
We are fantastic. A little frazzled and a little warm.
Yeah.
But otherwise fantastic. How are you? It's Friday.
TGIF.
I know, right? As if it meant anything. When...
Wait, you're telling me I don't get the weekend off?
Yeah, I know. Well, you're not exactly new to the YouTube game, so this shouldn't be much of a surprise to you. So, yeah, we've already got people being like, "Holy crap! Never knew TechDeals' name in our Twitch chat."
Yeah.
Jason, who?
There's actually a lot of that going on right now.
So why don't you do a quick intro to yourself for anyone who hasn't stumbled across your videos over on the tube?
My name is Jason. I run a YouTube channel called TechDeals, and I do basically tech deals. I do tech reviews and the best deals and builds and all sorts of fun stuff. Just picture me as a much smaller, younger version of Linus like 5 years ago.
Wow. I mean, with all the shade that this guy was throwing even before the show started, I was worried we were going to have to bring in some more lights or you wouldn't even be able to see our glistening foreheads here. And he's keeping it up. So, guys, you can find his channel over here. 5 things to consider when buying an SSD is what is it? What do they call that? A channel trailer now? Whatever they call that, the featured video on your home. So, giveaway and review, 80 plus power supply, 1050 versus 1050 Ti, 2018 update. Okay, why does that need to be updated?
Because people like that stuff. Because people want to know how like the new games play, Far Cry 5 and stuff like that.
Huh. Wow,
we used to do similar content to that, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Why does that need to happen?"
back in the house, back in the garage.
Yeah,
I'm busy RGBing things.
He
to
knows.
Death. RGBing things to death.
See, if your brain was just a little bit younger, it would have been malleable enough to remember that.
Now you? What is this, like Attack Linus show? It's a WAN show.
Well, you answered the question.
I started this show.
You answered the question of where he could be found with a YouTube link instead of mentioning the new thing.
Yes. So I totally screwed up, and it's totally my fault that especially Luke is going after me
Well, you
here.
don't have a here. I'll fix it.
Mind you. Oh, okay.
You just don't have a thing.
All right.
You can find him there.
Can I? Okay, so this is pretty cool. So the thing that we're announcing here is that Jason is going to be the second non-Linus Media Group creator to show up on Floatplane.
Awesome.
Linus Tech Tips, Bitwit Ultra, and right there, TechDeals is now live on the platform. And obviously, we've had a look at some of the stuff you've got up on YouTube. But what do you have available now for people to check out over on Floatplane?
We have got some early access videos over there. The May 2018 unboxing is already there with more than a dozen cool things unboxed. There's some additional testing of VRAM requirements. There's a couple of behind-the-scenes videos that are exclusive to Floatplane. Just some interesting videos that you just won't see on YouTube. So cool stuff.
Holy crap, you've been really busy.
He's been on top of it.
What the heck is all this? You've only had access to the account for like 2 days, dude.
That Galax is the first time I've ever tested a Galax card.
Cool.
Huh. Sheesh. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, cool. All right, so why don't we actually do something that we rarely do on WAN Show here and actually get into a tech topic.
Oh, wow.
So this was originally posted on the Linus Tech Tips forum by Samsy, and the original article here is from Tom's Hardware. But basically, this is absolutely huge. Intel's 10 nanometer technology is, and the headline says, this is pretty savage here actually, is broken and apparently delayed until 2019. Now, if the rest of the industry were going through the same challenges, this wouldn't even really be that newsworthy, except that the word on the street is that AMD is already in the prototyping stages using 7 nanometer technology from their partner Global Foundries.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
What?
And this isn't to add a little bit too. This isn't rumor mill stuff. I often complain like, "Oh, I don't like rumors." This was from I believe a shareholders call.
Yeah. So during their quarterly earnings call, and this was yesterday, Intel basically was like, "Yep, this is a thing."
And it's not too surprising. They've been like a lot of the news lately of like, oh, this person has been hired for Intel has been like them poaching from other companies pretty aggressively. So it seems like they knew there was a problem. They've been trying to pull people in to solve it.
I mean, Jason, do you think they were trying to bury this news somewhat under an extremely strong Q1 earnings?
They were. I mean, they had great earnings, but their desktop business is flat. It's their services business that's up. And it looks like we're going to be getting yet another iteration of 14 nanometer beyond Coffee Lake, believe it or not.
Holy crap. I mean, this is does this feel really similar to what started happening with GPUs right around the 28 nanometer time?
Yeah.
When is the last time AMD had the chance of having a CPU at a smaller production process than Intel?
I don't think I've been a computer enthusiast long enough for AMD to have even been on the same process node as Intel. And I don't mean where like Intel went ahead and then AMD caught up and then Intel went, like, I mean for AMD to have like launched at around a similar time with using the same manufacturing process as Intel. So just for those of you who aren't familiar with what this means, there are a number of things that make a CPU or a GPU or any kind of processor inherently better. So adding more cache, for example, adding smarter cache, that is, as long as it's not suffering from Spectre or Meltdown related issues.
Minor problems.
Increasing the clock speed. All of these things help. So architectural changes to the design of the chip and how its logic works. These help performance and can potentially help efficiency. But the kind of freebie that for decades now we've pretty much taken for granted is shrinking the manufacturing process, so the size of the transistors. With a couple of notable exceptions, this inherently makes the chips more power efficient and smaller, allowing you to increase the complexity. I mean, that's why a CPU today can have in excess of like 20 megabytes of cache, whereas back when I was getting into this stuff, I mean, having 256 kilobytes or 512 kilobytes was considered... Did he just take jerky? No, he didn't. Okay, never mind. You know, having 256 kilobytes or 512 kilobytes was considered pretty darn good. So AMD, by manufacturing on a smaller process, inherently has an advantage in terms of power consumption and chip complexity that Intel has just taken for granted for the last, 20 years?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's given them their huge advantage.
That's incredible. So, I mean, there's a couple other just sort of housekeeping items here. They're shipping Cannon Lake in low volume. Haven't pointed to specific customers or products. And basically, their multi-patterning process is generating too many yield-reducing defects to produce 10 nanometer cost-effectively. So that's another thing that the layperson would not necessarily be aware of. When you're manufacturing, it's not just about can you make a CPU. Intel could probably make a CPU at 10 nanometer or even a node or even 2 nodes below, if all they had to make was one CPU and it could cost them $6 million to produce or whatever the case may be. But for them to make it cost effective enough that they can bring these 10 nanometer products to market and actually sell them at a price that would be acceptable to consumers and competitive with their own 14 nanometer products, well, for that, you have to have a significant amount of the wafer actually be usable. And they can accept small defects, and you'll often see that in the form of something like a Core i5 or a Core i3 where they'll turn off some cache or turn off a couple of cores. That's perfectly acceptable. But for them to not ship at all means they are not getting enough even usable dies to productize the thing.
Well, we may actually see AMD pull ahead in performance then for a change, because Ryzen's awesome, but it's still per core not quite as fast. But what if that changes by next year?
So one thing that's sort of a potential ace up AMD's sleeve is that we've seen second generation Ryzen And I mean, whatever the hype train might have said, you know, our thoughts on it were, okay. I mean, yeah, it's more better for the same price. I'm certainly not going to say no.
Yeah.
You know, no, send it back. Make another one.
I don't want the improvements.
But there was nothing revolutionary about it. What we haven't seen from AMD yet is something that they have clearly indicated is on their roadmap, and that is Zen 2. So that's an actual architectural improvement to Zen that's more than just, okay, we shrunk the node a little bit, like a fraction of a node down, and we've reduced power consumption a little bit, even though it ended up not actually amounting to much, and we've increased clock speed. So can you imagine what the world looks like where AMD outperforms Intel?
It's kind of exciting because I think it'll light a fire under Intel again. And we've been saying this for a long time. It's going to be weird consumer-wise because even if AMD is ahead of Intel in that way, it'll be interesting to see how fast or even if the market really shifts that much because people have been ingrained to just buy Intel stuff for so long now.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say something that might be a little unpopular with the AMD fanboys out there. I don't think it's going to affect consumer choice very much at all.
That's where I was kind of going with that. Is I think people are still going to buy it.
I think AMD is going to raise prices, and the people who are going to buy AMD are going to buy AMD because it's a good choice, and the people who buy Intel are going to buy Intel.
Well, that was kind of true back in the Pentium 4 days when you had Athlon XP.
Yeah.
Yep. And in particular, I mean, the Pentium 4 wasn't even the worst because the Pentium 4 legitimately outperformed the Athlon XP. I mean, us AMD people, you know, I had a 2500 plus, and I overclocked it to 2.2 gigahertz, which would have made it a 3200 plus by bumping the front side bus from 333 to 400. Okay. Oh, no, crap. No, it was from 266 to 330. Whatever it was. It was very confusing because AMD back in those days would actually have multiple models of the same processor at different front side bus speeds and then just with like different multipliers. And because of board compatibility with, because remember, that was back when third-party chipsets existed.
Yeah.
Right? Remember VIA chipsets? Whoa, Enforce? Yeah, baby.
Blast from the past.
I know, right? So anyway, I had a 2500 plus, and I had it overclocked to a 3200 plus, which AMD very optimistically would compare to Intel's 3.2 gigahertz. But if we're being honest with ourselves, I was one of those people who was like, you know what, hyperthreading is not real processor cores, so you know what, my 3200 plus is like as good as your 3.2 gigahertz P4, but in actuality, hyperthreading was a good thing, and this wasn't something that I actually discovered until dual cores were sort of the norm in the enthusiast circles, and I got my hands on a P4C 2.4 gigahertz, so this was a Northwood C, and this was an M0 stepping. This was a cool chip. This is a 2.4 gigahertz chip that was capable of like 4 plus.
Do people hunt that stuff as much as they used to?
A P4 800C, a P4C 800-E Deluxe. That's an Asus board from back in the day. That was actually the board that I had that I was playing around with this M0 stepping on. And that M0 stepping was out of like a salvage system someone had given to me when I built them a new one. I was like, oh, you had no idea what you had here. I mean, dual cores were obviously still better, but I was like, oh, hyperthreading worked. This is cool. And overclocked, man, that thing was fast. Anyway, what am I talking about again? Right, a P4C 800E Deluxe. Those still go for $100 on eBay. I looked at it last week because we're planning like a blast from the past machine, and we want to overclock the snot out of it. And if you want to overclock the snot out of a P4C, a Pentium 4C, then you really do need a P4C 800E Deluxe. And so we are probably going to pay $100 for a 10-year-old motherboard in the near future.
That's a crime. $100. All I remember is that the Pentium 3s were good, and then the Athlons came out, and I skipped most of the Pentium 4s because, frankly, yes, you could get a Pentium 4 that was faster, but it cost so much more money than an Athlon.
That's true. The board was more expensive, the chip was more expensive. To get the most out of it, you needed dual-channel memory, which back then was Like,
and you remember that Rambus RAM?
crazy expensive. Yeah, Rambus RAM. There's a gap in my PC enthusiasm in between the Pentium 1 and the P4 post Rambus. So I never had to deal with Rambus memory.
You've never had Rambus?
I have never had Rambus. In fact, I don't think I've ever even talked about it. So feel free to tell our audience for maybe the first time they've ever heard about it, because they're if you listen to our haters, they're all kids. So go ahead and educate them.
I wouldn't want to put a hat on or anything, but basically Intel wanted a piece of the RAM market. Oh, did I say that out loud? So they wanted to get everybody off of DDR RAM, and they wanted to go to Rambus because they had royalties and patents on it. It was supposed to be faster, and it was, but it had higher latency and other issues, or vice versa. But essentially they thought that their market clout would force everybody, and you could buy an Athlon instead, which used the cheaper DDR RAM and cheaper boards. And yes, Pentium was 10-20% faster, but you paid double, triple the money for 10 or 20% speed. It was silly.
That would be a tremendous video. Standards that Intel has pushed over the years that died. We've got Rambus, we've got BTX, we've got what else? Just like off the top of our heads, could we? Do you guys remember VIIV? VIIV?
No, I don't think so.
Oh
No.
man! Oh, it was epic. We had this like demo kit at the NCIX headquarters that I don't think literally was ever taken out of its box.
I've seen this logo.
Yeah. Here, hold on. I'm gonna here's a Intel press room technology brief. I'm just gonna share you guys with my screen on my screen here. Here it is. Yeah, baby, Intel VIIV. Maximize your home entertainment experience. This is Intel's brand for in-home entertainment PCs designed to transform how consumers manage, share, and enjoy a broad and growing assortment of movies, programs, music, games, and photos. Oh man, look at this. Look how like delightfully 2000s all of this looks.
So I recognize all the logos, but I don't remember it at all. It's probably because it's home theater and I didn't care.
Well, the other thing too is that it didn't matter at all because anything was VIIV. It was just kind of a meaningless label that you could put on an HTPC with a
It was like the multimedia PC standard back in the 90s.
VR ready.
Yeah, like look at like look at these performance benchmarks. They're like, yes, a VIIV technology. Oh, by the way, it's a Pentium D processor. And then they compare it to just a P4, not VIIV, and they're like, oh yes, VIIV is much more better, but it actually is just like better CPUs. Like here's a Core 2 Duo versus a P4 571. What is the point exactly that you're trying to make?
Would you consider Intel's Itanium to be them trying to control 64-bit?
You know what? I don't know enough about the Itanic to really comment on it, like in an in-depth technical way, because it was server tech at a time when we did not dabble in server tech at all. So what's your take? Because I feel like you wouldn't ask me if you didn't have an opinion.
Well, they were trying to move the industry off of their traditional x86, which of course AMD had a license to, and the idea was that they would have something that they could have exclusive. And I'll bet an awful lot of people today don't realize that the 64-bit technology we use today isn't Intel's, it's AMD's. Itanium was Intel's attempt to get everybody off a legacy platform and sort of take control. They've tried multiple times over the years to try to retake control of the CPU business from AMD.
Yeah. I know.
It will be, considering all the stuff that happened 15 years ago with Pentium 4 and Athlon, if Ryzen 3 ends up being 7 nanometers before Intel gets there.
Are you adding this to like?
No, but I will. We definitely.
I thought you
have
were
to do
like,
that video.
I'm doing this during the show, and I was like, I don't think you'll forget.
That would be so much fun. So on the subject of all of this lighting a fire under Intel's butt, I think we've got time for one more topic with you, and I think this is probably the best one. Jim Keller. is joining Intel. So this was posted by Numlock21 on the forum, and the original article is WCCF Tech. So whatever you might think about them, you can keep it to yourself because this is like a confirmed thing. So just chill out. But basically, I mean, this doesn't do justice to the guy's resume. But it says AMD's Zen and Athlon 64 CPU architect. So pretty much the only times that AMD has built anything competitive with Intel in the last 10 years. The architect behind them, Jim Keller, has joined Intel. So this is after stints at Apple, where I believe, was he working on CPU or GPU at Apple? Do you remember?
No.
No, I can't remember either. And then he also did some time at Tesla. So he left AMD for Tesla most recently, and then he was at Apple in between AMD and AMD again, I think? Can't remember exactly, but basically the guy is a legend in the CPU design business. And so now he and Raja Kaduri, who was the head of Radeon Technologies Group under AMD, are now both at Intel. So if there was any doubt that Intel is making a big push here, you can put that to rest.
It's going to be interesting.
Well, he was essentially played a key role or responsible for the good CPUs that AMD, frankly, has ever designed. Because I don't know if you ever played around with the old K6 and K5 chips way back in the 90s, but they really struggled when they lost the ability to copy Intel's designs. I mean, all the way through the 386 and whatnot, they could copy Intel, but then they had to come up there. K5 was late, K5 was slow, competing with the Pentium.
Right.
And then K6 was okay, but then the K7 was Athlon. And so basically he did Athlon XP, all the way through until they switched over to Phenom and FX, which he wasn't involved with. And then he did Ryzen. So basically he's done every good CPU AMD's ever done.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. Yep. Oh, man. So he's joining as a senior vice president, leading the company's silicon engineering, which encompasses system-on-chip development and integration. So he did this is all in my notes. Did a multi-year stint at Apple between contributions to K8 and coming back to work on Zen. At Apple, he led the design team to build the company's class-leading mobile processors. So in 2015, he left AMD to join Tesla, where he's been leading the company's AI chip design teams to date. So if Tesla produces some kind of chip design that is like freaking awesome in the next year to 4, he'll definitely have had a hand in that. I mean, what does this mean for AMD? Like, they're going to have a couple of good years here, because one of the things that Mr. Keller did, I don't know, is he a doctor? I don't know. I've never seen it written that way. So
I'm not sure.
I mean, it seems like there's a pretty good chance. Anyway,
Yeah.
One of the things that Jim Keller did at AMD was he set out a roadmap for Zen. Like, this is Zen 1, and then here's like future generations of Zen. Like, here's it's all plotted out for you. But after that, what do they do? Where do you find another rock star like that?
I don't know.
Find good people and let them do their thing.
I mean, it's become very challenging, though. I mean, in the early days, chip design was simple enough. I mean, obviously, it was already very complicated, but it was simple enough that there could be many people qualified to work on it. As time goes on, for you to find someone with the knowledge to work on current technology and the experience of everything that's come before it, something that does have a value and has a value more and more so as the technology progresses, to find those people is going to become more and more difficult. And when you're AMD, you are competing with Intel to attract those people. And we can see who is winning that battle right now.
Yeah, and it's not like he's retiring right away. That's one thing I was going to look into, is like, is the old guard going to be retiring? But he's not quite at that age yet, so nope, we can keep leaning on these guys. It's going to be interesting.
All right, well, we got to jump into our sponsors. Jason, thank you so much for coming on the show. We are absolutely thrilled not just to have you on, but also to have you on Floatplane. So I just want to do a quick reminder to everyone. You can find Jason over on YouTube if you just search for TechDeals.
YouTube.com/TechDeals.
Yep, and you can also find him over on... Sorry, I was just stalling for time while I got my Floatplane screen up here. Yep, there we go. And you can also find him over on Floatplane. Will you be doing mostly early access or exclusive stuff, or what's the deal over there?
Early access, the goal is to give everybody a week early access to all the videos, cool. Except for like key product launches, but everything will go up first on Floatplane and then on YouTube. But there'll be some behind the scenes, a couple of fun exclusive videos just for Floatplane supporters.
Cool.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk really soon, because I'm sure you're gonna want some tech support, because Floatplane's pretty alpha, dude.
Hey.
Hey, you were taking
Thanks,
shots
guys.
at me. All right, see ya.
That's fair. That's fair. Bye.
All right.
It's working right now. People are subscribing to him already.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Already? Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this dashboard. Why haven't you shown me this dashboard?
You have access to it.
What?
Yeah.
I asked you for this multiple times. What a dick! What a dick! So, like, I could see all this stuff?
I mean, maybe.
What is this?
Like what? What do you want to see?
You can see creators
this
and
is
moderators.
total, though, including connected.
Invoices and, like...
You have the... Oh, no, you don't. I forgot. It's probably fine.
Terrible people. Terrible people everywhere, especially the chair next to me. All right.
I'll give you access to some
All right.
point.
Let's get our sponsors. Let's get our sponsors on here. So this episode of the WAN Show is brought to you by Spectrum Glasses, and my notes are not in this WAN Show document, the one that we shared with Jason. They're in the perpetual WAN Show documents. I'm gonna pull those up. But basically, in a nutshell, I don't really even need my talking points for this. They are glasses that are right here. Perfect. And they have a yellow tint that is designed to reduce the amount of blue light hitting your eyes while not affecting the color of the things around you or your screen over much. They're well built, nice and robust. They've actually even got ones for kids that are super durable, and they've got a huge variety of different styles. I think that is a lady's design that you're wearing right now, but you know, Luke and I don't really stress out about those kinds of minor details. Yeah.
I'll rock it.
They're highest rated among their competitors on Amazon, and they're primarily focused on the Canadian and US markets, but they are expanding to Europe and they offer shipping internationally. So check them out at spectrumglasses.com/collections/prospect or at the link right there, which is actually the exact same thing. Why does that say prospect and why does that say products? Well, hopefully they both work. Anyway, you can use offer code Linus to save 10% on your Spectrum glasses today. Or tomorrow.
Whichever one works for you.
Or the next day. Or...
kind of whenever you want.
Kind of whenever you want. But make sure you don't forget to use the code, because 10% off is awesome. It's basically like getting free shipping.
Yeah.
All right. Also brought to you by Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access supports a wide variety of VPN protocols and types of encryption and authentication, allowing you to dial in the exact level of privacy protection you need. They've got apps for Windows, Mac OS, Android, iOS, Linux, and Google Chrome, with support for several other platforms coming soon. What other platforms?
Well, they called it a specific browser.
Okay.
So it could be other...
like maybe another browser. Okay, that's fair. You can connect up to 5 devices at the same time, and their apps include DNS leak protection and IPv6 leak protection. An internet kill switch will block all traffic if the VPN becomes disconnected unexpectedly, and you can check it out today at the link in the video description, or the one that I'm pointing at right there. Best of all, it is not owned by McAfee.
That took me a sec. Oof. Oof.
You know,
I'll add a oof.
You know, they called us after that video.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey.
They didn't call us before it, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, the wife's making a face. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess we should do that now. Okay.
Can I do one thing right before that?
LTX 2018. Oh, what?
I have a thing that I need to do in the thing right there.
You have a thing? Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Apply for the developer position at Floatplane Media. If you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description. And
Otherwise,
if
you're posting it in Twitch chat?
I'm posting it in Twitch
chat. All right,
chat.
cool. How many people are on the team now?
It depends where you draw the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like 5?
But depends where you draw the line.
But
if
also,
the line's on me, then 5 if I'm included.
Yeah.
But are you included?
Yeah, it's like 5+.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's going really well. It's awesome. Luke's a great boss.
Not now. I'm so confused. Okay, there we go.
LTX 2018.
Also, yeah, I saw that. Thanks.
LTX 2018. It's a meetup and interactive tech event. It's happening July 14th at the Richmond Olympic Oval here in Richmond, BC, Canada. The current booths include a blind cable management competition brought to you by Cable Mod, a delitting workshop so you can bring your CPU and we will show you how to delit it safely, Case Toss 2.0, safer this time, multi-headed VR, a LAN. Really? We're going to have a LAN? That's sick. Okay. 12K ultra-wide gaming. We haven't actually made that video yet, but we will be working on that very hard, hopefully to have it done in time. And with more on the way. There's going to be food, music, cool systems to look at, games, more swag, special guests, exclusive live unboxings, and more. So tickets start at $35 Canadian, and you can check them out at ltxexpo.com. So, oh crap, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, yep, everything's fine. So it's your last day.
Yes. Bye.
So I actually haven't asked you this yet, but like, where are you going?
Croatia.
Okay, not what I meant, but, oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Croatia?
I'm gonna go live, with my boyfriend's grandparents for a bit.
Really?
Yeah, breathe in some fresh air, I guess.
You're gonna live in Croatia?
They have no Wi-Fi?
Like in Croatia or at his grandparents' house?
In Croatia.
No, yes they do.
They don't.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so tech tips video, getting max Wi-Fi in Croatia.
I don't think they have the capacity to do that.
No.
I'll send you a photo of their breaker. Like it's insane. Like,
but just like in their house.
In their house, I think they have Wi-Fi at like one of the cafes in the city that they live in.
Really?
Yes.
So you're going from complete immersion in technology to like your phone is basically a fancy Apple branded decoration.
Yes.
Wow. How long are you staying there?
A few weeks to a month.
A month?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. Have you given much thought to your plan beyond that? I feel like I'm interviewing you. I might as well ask, you know what? I might as well ask some of the questions that I'm sure people have on their minds. Guys, go ahead and post in the Twitch chat if you have any questions for Max. I will do my best, but we're not going to have a ton of time because it's 5:59, and so officially in 1 minute, she super doesn't work here anymore and definitely doesn't have to listen to me.
Am I trespassing at that point?
Yeah, do we have to escort her away?
No.
They've already taken all my keys.
But she's a visitor at that point.
But you're a visitor. Wow. Okay, so favorite video project you worked on while you were here?
Oh. The one at your house, I forget which one, but you dressed up as a grandmother and
Tech then versus now.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. So we were talking about sort of retro tech and
Sorry.
So we were talking about sort of differences between technology when I was a kid and when my kids were a kid. And I guess technology from when I was a kid was funny to you, I suppose. Also, it involved a lot of costumes. That was a lot of fun.
A lot of cross-dressing.
Worst project.
Worst project.
I already think I know what you're going to say. And it was fun, but it was also pretty horrible.
Are you
Go ahead. You can say. I mean, I think I know what it was. I want to see if I get it right.
Well, now I'm trying to think of what you're thinking.
No. Don't try to think of what I'm thinking. Try to think of the worst project you worked on the whole time you were here.
I don't know. CES was pretty tough. It wasn't the worst project, but it was like really, really tough. San Francisco as well. The AMD Factory Tour.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That was pretty rough.
Yep.
Like we flew out very early morning, didn't we?
We were up at like 3.
And then we worked, because it was like a 6 a.m. or like a 7 a.m. flight or something stupid like that. And then we landed and worked all day. And then we had another like 6 or 7 a.m. flight home.
Yeah, I remember getting back. I remember getting to the hotel at like 9:30 or like 10 o'clock or something like that. And you were like, set your alarm. We're up at 2 a.m. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we came back to the office. I only lasted till like, we got here at like 10 a.m.
Yeah,
or something.
I think
and then
you stayed in for like another 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't even ask you to.
It was just... I thought I had to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, I stayed because I didn't have a choice. Like, I had, that whole trip was just kind of a cluster.
Yeah.
Because AMD sprung it on us at the last minute. And they were just like, well, we're going to have like the most exclusive thing ever. It's a supercomputer made of Vegas. And we were like, yo, we have our LTX. That was a year ago.
Yeah,
a year ago. Yeah. Holy crap. So we were like, yeah, we have our LTX Expo. Like now we need to, and they're like, we need to be there and back in one day. And they're like, yeah, we can make it happen. Like, okay. People are asking if you got fired because you dropped the test bench.
You know what? I think it took Linus about a year to think it over. And then he brought me into his office and said, you know what? I can't get over it.
No, we're actually pretty chill, and if I had to be honest, I don't think we've ever addressed this publicly, but if I had to be honest about it, that was at least 40% my fault.
Whoa! Whoa!
I'll take it.
I was the one who propped it up like that. That was me, not Max.
You know what? I said, that doesn't look like the best idea.
She did say that. However, I did say, Max, can you hold this while I answer the door?
And he trusted me during my probation. So...
Oh, this is great. It is 6:02. I'm no longer your boss. You can answer honestly.
Okay.
Hold on. What's their name? Okay. Is Linus a good boss? I don't know. Someone asked.
Yes.
It's going super fast.
Yep.
You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie anymore. There's no pressure.
I gotta stay for this.
Yeah, no, like was a great boss.
I know it's over. All right, what else we got here?
Pregnant?
Remember, everyone's what? People are asking.
Do they think I'm pregnant? Do you think I'm leaving because I'm pregnant?
Wow.
No.
I don't think this is.
I don't think you have to answer that question.
I'm not.
Someone has a question. Oh, why isn't your hair blue?
I've
been wondering that.
I saw a 15-year-old girl at Walmart, and she had literally the exact same hair as me. It was really, she was like following me around. Like there was no way she needed to be in the cereal aisle the same time I was in the cereal aisle. And so she just like, I don't know, I felt really stressed out and I had a hair appointment the next day anyways. And I was like, so we gotta get rid of this. And she's like, let's just do it now. And I just blacked out, woke up, blonde hair.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was time.
Did you feel old?
Yeah, no, it's just that I didn't want to identify as somebody that has the same hair as like a 15-year-old.
So you felt old.
So it's not that I felt old.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so it was time.
Oh, wow. I wished I'd asked before. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Twitch chat thinks all girls are pregnant. That's apparently why that came up. I don't know. I don't spend enough time on Twitch to let's see, do you want to take one more question?
No, that's not me. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's do one more.
75 is the answer.
What's the best part of the job here?
I don't work here anymore. I can't answer that. I don't know. Everything is pretty chill. I don't know. I get to like hang out with cool people and nice cameras. It's definitely not a desk job, which is what I had last time, and
Right.
so that was really cool, being able to like do different things every day and like walk around and be creative.
Right.
Yeah.
I think some of your finest work was actually one of the last things you shot here. This video right here is not up on. It's not up on YouTube yet, but it's on Floatplane. So I'm just gonna this one. Yeah, here we go. And I believe you did all the lighting for this, didn't you? So. In the early parts of her tenure, Max relied on Brandon a lot for help in terms of not operating a camera necessarily, but in terms of lighting shots and the composition of her shots and all of that kind of stuff. And she actually did this whole video, which I thought was absolutely fantastic when I watched it the other day, including like the sort of the black backdrop there, the pedestals here. This is really cool. So in this part right here, I'm gonna walk from sort of an early Model M to a newer one. I hope I have this muted right now. Yep, I got it muted right now. And this was really janky, the way that we had to do it, because we don't have the proper equipment for it, but I thought it was really creative and just really well done in a cool way. So yeah, I don't know. It kind of felt like a fitting last project, actually, because visually it's one of the coolest videos I think that we've ever done. So
It was all James's idea. I said, do we really have to do this? And he goes, yeah.
let me see if I can just find one of the spots where we have one of the movement bits.
I don't even know.
It's okay. Here we go. There we go. This is the part that I wanted to show you guys. That interlacing, though, isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
So I put down the keyboard, and with a little bit of post work. Do you want to tell them how this was shot? Because it's
Yeah.
horrendous.
What are those things? Dolly? It's not a dolly.
Like
it's
the
a
handy mover.
Yeah, it's like a handy mover. So we had a tripod with a red and a prompter and like a little audio module that like we had a boom plugged into, and like we sandbagged the tripod onto this handy mover. And we basically, like, the way the handy mover works, you need to move in one direction or else it like gets all weird. So I don't know, I had it like this. I had one hand on the handy mover, one hand on the handle of the red, and I just pulled it back. And we had Ed on the left side of me with just like a softbox on wheels, and he was pulling it back. And then we had Dennis booming, and he was just walking back. And then we had James as well, like kind of beside me with a bounce, and he was walking back with us. And Linus had to do this while reading off a prompter and like putting a borrowed keyboard back on a pedestal.
So
that was,
carefully.
Like, yeah.
Not my keyboard. Like $200, $300 keyboard on eBay because they're very rare. Lot of fun though. Okay, the last question is from me.
Okay.
Are you going to ask me for a reference?
Huh.
I'm idly curious.
I have not considered looking for another job yet. So I haven't gotten to that point in my life. Maybe.
All right, sounds good. Well, I think, do we do the handshake thing? Oh, really? Oh. All right, and on that note, thank you very much for all your time here, and have a great weekend of liberté.
I'm gonna have, yeah.
Or a month.
Have a great life.
Wi-Fi, yeah. Have a great life. All right, see you, Max.
Bye. I'm gonna cross the stream again, so sorry.
On that happy note, I return.
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, speaking of people who don't work here anymore.
Wow. Yeah, actually, no one was on the show with you this week that works here.
Yeah. How interesting. You know what? I'm going to call that a solo WAN show. And I'm going to give myself an extra gold star for doing a great job of the WAN show all by myself.
That's not how that works.
Not how that works.
Not
sure?
at all.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works. All right. So we've got other tech news, I think, but honestly, we actually don't have a ton of time.
We're in negative time.
Yeah, should we start to just like burn through stuff pretty quick here? Bye.
Sure.
I'm just putting my coffee.
Oh, you're just putting your coffee away. Oh, okay. Well, bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
You're not leaving
I'll
permanently,
miss
are
you
you?
forever.
Yeah. Well,
You might.
He's going Croatia. Yeah,
Go to
exactly.
Croatia? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Have fun with no internet, buddy guy.
Yeah. Enjoy that.
I think they have Wi-Fi in Croatia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No Wi-Fi.
No,
None.
it's just.
In general, just like not.
Yeah, no. I understood what she meant. They just don't have like an internet line into her grandparents' house. I think is what she's trying to say.
Sure, I have to ride on a stationary bike to get
Yeah.
energy, so.
Yeah. All right.
Nice. Okay.
So Windows 10 Redstone 5 gets telephony APIs. Telephony?
Telephony, I believe.
Yeah, thank you. Hinting at a Surface phone. Apparently, Microsoft might not have learned their lesson, but the APIs cover support for a range of typical phone features, including dialing numbers and contacts, blocking withheld numbers, support for Bluetooth headset, speakerphone mode, etc. And there looks to be some kind of video calling support, suggesting support for 3G or LTE video calling. I would love to see, like, this is something I haven't been able to figure out for the longest time. This doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do a phone again. It could just mean they're going to add phone functionality to Surface devices.
Which is hopefully what it is.
Which is-
Because, like, the 4 people that would care about the other option,
Yeah,
like, I don't, like,
Sorry,
their
good
amount
bites.
of disappointment.
nothing personal.
Yeah, their amount of disappointment is not worth it.
Other good Microsoft news. They rolled out the Xbox April update, which gives you FreeSync over HDMI,
That's actually super cool.
support for 1440p, which paired with that FreeSync support, some FreeSync is on all, and 1440p is on the One X and the One S, means that you could be looking at a significantly better gaming experience if you're like living in a dorm and you
Yeah.
game on your monitor.
Yeah.
And you've got like a cheap Korean monitor off of eBay or whatever, because there are ones with FreeSync. We actually did check one out recently that was a fantastic value. It's got support for auto low latency mode, which will tell your television that you're playing a game so it can switch the display mode. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Updated mixer streaming service to include the ability to share control of a game with a user on mixer.com.
That's actually pretty sick. Unfortunately, with all of this, there's still no end game for Sea of Thieves. So,
Do you want to do this one?
not really sure.
This is posted by SC2 Mitch on the forum. Go ahead.
What does that even mean? I'm posting this in the Twitch chat, but apparently Finland is. I'm tripping over myself. What does this mean? Okay. Finland classifies esports as a traditional sport. Apparently, there's a quote that says esports is now being treated as a traditional sport in an administrative sense. Okay. Though we don't want to outweigh the importance of traditional sports. I don't know what in an administrative sense fully
So there's some
means.
good stuff here. Basically, if an esports e-athlete wants to come into the country to compete in an event, for example,
Okay, so they get visas.
Obtaining visas will
Yeah,
be easy.
yeah.
So
Cool,
there's some
good.
good stuff. It'll help teams obtain government funding if they're based in the country, and tax benefits for athletes as well. E-athletes. You know what?
Okay, so that's cool.
I'm never going to do it. I'm sorry, but I'm never going to call them athletes.
I'm okay with this. They're e-athletes.
Okay.
It takes an extremely high degree of skill and precision and all this kind of stuff,
Yes.
but it's just a different form.
But it's not athleticism.
It's a different form.
And there can be benefits to that
There
extreme
can be.
control from being like an athletic person
But it is a
and
different
being in good athletic cardiovascular shape.
Yeah.
They're just not the same thing.
Yeah.
Whoa! If you were wondering if the mining craze has reached the plateau and is coming down, Taiwanese graphics card makers to see shipments plunge 40% in April. So this
Epic.
includes Gigabyte, MSI, and Tool. Many clients have suspended taking shipments in response to the drastic slowdown in demand for cryptocurrency mining machines. Many mining farm operators are apparently awaiting the rollout of Ethereum mining machines by China's Bitmain in the third quarter of 2018. Dun dun dun!
There's a rumor that Apple's working on an 8K x 2 VR headset.
An 8K display for each eye, that would be fantastic. I don't know how big this thing would be. The box would be powered by a custom Apple processor that's more powerful than anything currently available, and it would act as the brain for the headset. In its current state, the box resembles a PC tower, but it won't be an actual Mac computer.
There's a few things that I'm really surprised aren't in the dock, and I don't have notes on it, obviously, but to like stepping stone you guys onto looking into yourself, there's apparently a huge lawsuit going on right now over RAM pricing that we just got a bunch of news about. There's Eric Lundgren is possibly going to prison for repairing or for burning freeware onto disks.
That isn't here.
And then, oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, so that was posted by KenBlue24 on the forum. That actually is really important to cover. Let's go ahead and... So an e-waste activist gets 15 months in prison for selling Windows Restore disks.
Yeah, so these were downloaded from... I don't know if you guys are going to remember this, to be completely honest, but back in the day, you would get restore disks with your laptop or your PC, your desktop, sorry. And now you can download them and burn them yourself or put them onto flash drives or whatever. And he would charge, as far as I know, he would charge 25 cents.
25 cents he was charging for them.
Which is essentially the cost of the disk.
Yes.
Like the physical medium that he put it onto.
Yeah.
There are a few additional problems that not a lot of people are putting light on. One of them is that apparently they were labeled as like Microsoft Windows, which causes a big problem.
Yeah, that's a big intellectual property problem.
But that was not the focus of the court case.
Right.
The focus of the court case was apparently selling the software.
When clearly the software is available for download and cannot be activated without a license. So,
and the license key is what actually matters here, and he wasn't selling license keys. He was selling...
helping people who had lost their recovery disk get Windows back on their computer with their existing license
in a really
key.
nice way, because he was helping you do it yourself, and he was doing it for 25 cents, the cost of the disk. That doesn't properly, in my opinion, include labor. That's like taking some business away from him directly. And Microsoft apparently, as far as I know, went after him for the perceived value. So I think it was like $20 a disk.
Yeah. So saying that it was worth like almost $750,000. And apparently their problem with all of this is that it is causing lost sales. But that is frankly bullshit argument.
It's completely incorrect.
Because those people already have a license for Windows, so we shouldn't be trying to sell them another license for Windows because they already have one, and that is what is known in the industry as a dick move. So there's a couple of problems here. He did break the law. He did sell copyrighted material, which is wrong and bad and illegal. But this kind of behavior, the intent, because I'm a firm believer that we should look not at the action so much as at the intent. Like if someone's like, you're a dick, that's obviously really different from, you know what, you're a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So there's what you say, but there's what you mean. And in this case, yes, what he did was technically incorrect and technically illegal. But it's the kind of thing where I think a letter probably would have done the trick.
And it comes down to the basics of, does the punishment match the crime? And this is
That's right.
Extremely not the case.
If someone was driving down the road at 200 kilometers an hour and they blow through a school zone, they would be unlikely to get 15 months in prison, in spite of the fact that, okay, maybe no one actually gets hurt, but
That's
they could have
extremely dangerous.
Easily, hit a rock at that kind of a speed in a residential area. And this kind of stuff happens. They could have easily hit a rock and flown into someone's house, or run over a bunch of school children, or whatever the case may be.
Or the rock that they hit could have fired out and nailed someone.
They will not get 15 months in prison. And here we're talking about, with as far as we can tell, a good intention. Someone printing these discs and making them available to people who are not tech savvy enough to download them on their own, and we're putting this person in prison for 15 months. This really doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Someone in Twitch chat was like, right to travel.
And honestly, I don't blame the courts for this. I don't blame the law. I don't blame the court system. I blame Microsoft. Microsoft should not be going after this guy. They should have sent a strongly worded letter, told him not to do it, and ideally created a system where people can download these recovery disks far more easily. Because as much as the disk does usually say on it, don't lose this or you won't be able to reinstall, that's BS too. There's absolutely no reason why physical media, it is 2018, there's no reason why physical media should prevent you in any way from installing and using your software that you have a valid license for. So I guess that's all I have to say about that.
There's legitimate issues with the use of logos
Yes,
or names or whatever.
but they took it too far. They should have said, don't use our logos. That's like someone uploading a meme on the internet with my face in it and us immediately going straight to a lawsuit rather than being like, you know, yo, you've crossed the line there. You actually can't use that.
We usually like memes.
Yeah, we love memes.
So go ahead, please do it. I saw one with you in it recently where it was like the 4-panel one, and you like run into an Apple store with money in your hand. Have you seen that?
I posted that on Twitter. The loss meme.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's so funny.
Nobody sent that to me. You know how I found it? For the first time ever.
Reddit?
I was bored.
Oh.
I don't remember the last time I was bored.
You have so much on your plate.
My kids were doing something, and I like needed to supervise them, and I didn't
so you
have
needed
anything
to kind of
do.
be there, but like.
So I went to r/all, and I made it 4 pages in, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's me!" Because it wasn't in like PCMR or like any of the places that I would normally pay attention to.
Where was it?
I'm gonna have to check. Linus, Mac, Loss, Meme, Reddit. That should bring it up. No. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm even like mentioned in it though. Yeah, I can't even find it now. I'll have to go on our Twitter and like find our post of the Reddit page, but like.
Oh yeah, because I didn't send it to you because I had noticed that you had posted it. I remember that now. Or was it your personal one?
No, it was on the company one. I figured it was on topic enough.
Yeah, I think so. There we go.
No, found this on. Okay, crap. I didn't post the
where.
link to Reddit. Dang it.
That was funny.
iMac loss. Reddit iMac loss. Nope. Yep. Can't find it. I'm sure someone has posted it in Twitch chat by now.
Yeah.
No, Twitch chat is full of people complaining about Reddit search. Yeah, well, there you go. Wow, this is awesome. We have a Stay Hydrated bot. You've been live for just over an hour.
I modded it.
By this point in your broadcast, you should have consumed 4 ounces, 120 milliliters of water to maintain optimal hydration.
Stay Hydrated bot is amazing.
How am I doing here? Oh, wow, I'm like double that.
Keep going.
Well, that's still cold. Ow. I have an insulated bottle now, so I'm not used to it. It's like really good though. I got this on Amazon. You like can't even, it's like not cold at all. There's still ice in there.
You did show me at lunch.
Oh.
I played along to like try to
I hate
bring
you.
the stream.
All right, so thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye, guys.
Intro.
Already had some people applying. Thank you. Apply harder, please.
Straight up, like, I still can't find it. I tried Linus Mac Meme. Let's try Linus Mac Meme Reddit. Is this my summary of the Linus Tech Tips controversy? Is that it? Nope. Oh, wow, that's interesting. The show is brought to you by Private Internet Access, Spectrum, and LTX. And also, this is weird. I haven't even seen this. There is so much discussion of this. I think even more than the tampon thing.
I love
Amazon.
how stupid that is. Yeah, the top comment.
This is interesting. It's not like they were asking Apple to fix it under warranty. He said he was willing and expecting to pay for it. Here's the biggest issue. He's voided the warranty in a spectacular way.
It doesn't matter.
Even if he pays double the cost of the Mac just to fix it, which would be super dumb because you could never pay more than the cost of the Mac to fix it. Apple then has to give a warranty on the repair, then that puts them in all sorts of poo if something else is broken due to his tampering. No, because nothing else could be broken because the entire thing would be brand new. That's not how this stuff works. It's just, you know what? Well, we'll make a video later. Bye.